If you tell the truth too early, you are laughed at. Too late, and you are stoned. A blind man who sees is better than a sighted man who is blind. When reading, don't let a single word escape your attention. One word may be worth 1,000 pieces of gold. Blame yourself as you blame others. Forgive others as you forgive yourself. You can close the city gates, but you can't close the person's mouth. Never open the door that you can't lock again. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. Fear those who do not fear God. Life is like perpetual drunkenness. The pleasure passes, but the headache remains. Little by little, the wool becomes a carpet. Better it is to have a lower position in life and be free than to have a position of power only to be subject to the will of another. The god's sleep is the lamplight of the thief. If a man knew where he would fall, he would spread straw there first. A bird does not sing because it has an answer. It sings because it has a song. In this world, generous people have no money, and those with money are not generous. The way you make your bed is the way you shall lie. When men meet foes in fight, better is stout heart than sharp sword. You cannot hang everything on one nail. A greedy man is always poor. That smells bad, said the cat, about meat he cannot reach. Wise men may be learned. Learned men may not be wise. He whose heart is aroused by love will never die. You can't squeeze blood from a rock. When a cat wants to eat her kittens, she says they look like mice. The loveliest faces are to be seen by moonlight, when one sees half with the eye and half with the fancy. One sin is too much, 100 prayers not enough. Pearls don't lie on the seashore. If you want one, you must dive for it. Use your enemy's hand to catch a snake. Tell your friend your secret, and he will set his foot on your neck. If you enter the city of the blind, cover your eyes. Gold bears more gold. A man's greatest support is not the gods, but his own two arms. Crawling on hands and knees has never prevented anyone from walking upright. Friendship with a fool may turn into a hug from a bear. A man in this world without learning is as a beast of the field. A beggar will always be a beggar, even if you give him the whole world. The earth is a host who kills his guests. You will reach your destination even though you travel slowly. A man who cannot tolerate small misfortunes can never accomplish great things. Write kindness in marble, write injuries in dust. A smile will gain you 10 more years of life. Don't listen to what they say. Go see. You can give a piece of advice, but not good luck along with it. He is little suited to be a baker whose head is made of butter. The best instruction is to practice what you preach. Maturity comes from wisdom, not in the passing of years. An arrow can be pulled out of a wound, but a hurtful word stays forever in your heart. When you are really thirsty, you don't desire 1,000 pearls. The big drum only sounds well from a distance. Death is a camel that lies down at every door. Gracious words are like a honeycomb, sweetness to the soul and health to the body. Where there are two friends with one purse, one sings, the other weeps. One who is wise enough to secure the good of others has secured his own. Bribery makes both parties happy. All the days of the afflicted are evil, but the cheerful of heart has a continual feast. Woe to the stranger when trouble comes, for there will be no friend to take his part. A pleasant voice brings a snake out of its hole. Solved riddles look easy. Debts are like women. Once you have them, you can't get rid of them. By committing foolish acts, one learns wisdom. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruits. A man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. The best things in life are free. Rescue those who are being taken away to death. Hold back those who are stumbling to the slaughter. A wound never heals so well that the scar cannot be seen. The way a house is decorated will tell much about its owner. The chameleon changes color to match the earth. The earth doesn't change color to match the chameleon. Some people put the best outside, some keep the best inside. Do not wrong or hate your neighbor, for it is not he that you wrong, but yourself. The night hides world, but reveals the universe. The best memory is that which forgets nothing but injuries. Once one is a teacher, one becomes a parent for life. Do not desire to hurt others in the depths of your heart. Necessity changes a lion into a fox. The wise man who does not put his knowledge into practice is like a bee that gives no honey. Once a friend, always a friend. The hunter does not rub himself in oil and lie by the fire to sleep. Whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but he who makes his ways crooked will be found out. Experience is a comb that nature gives to men when they are born. Wrath often consumes what God gives husbands. If a blind man leads another, they both fall together. Luck is infatuated with the efficient. Do not wear yourself out to get rich. Have the wisdom to show restraint. Cast but a glance at riches, and they are gone, for they will surely sprout wings and fly off to the sky like an eagle. He who doesn't go to war roars like a lion. You can't escape death and guests. By blackening another, you do not whiten yourself. Don't despise pepper, because it is small eats, and see how pungent it is. When you're thirsty, it's too late to think about digging a well. A child's lie is like a dead fish in a pond that in the end always comes to the surface, explains his mother. A diamond fallen into a dunghill is no less precious. Never marry a woman who has bigger feet than you. You can often find in a river what you cannot find in the ocean. Take care lest your tongue cut off your head. As soon as the monkey has climbed a tree, it will start abusing from its elevated position. He who has knowledge has power. One scabby goat infects the flock. He who wants a rose must beware of the throne. Bravery without foresight is like a blind horse. Thinking is the essence of wisdom. There are 3 things that have to be done quickly: burying the dead, opening the door for a stranger, and fixing your daughter's wedding. You can't pick up 2 melons with one hand. The pleasure of finding something is worth more than what you find. It's too late to shut the stable door after the horse has bolted. Do not use words that are too big for your mouth. There is one whose rash words are like sword thrusts, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. One fool may ask more questions than 7 wise men can answer. Short is the life of the proud. Every man goes up, his death, bearing in his hands only that which he has given away. If you forsake a certainty and depend on an uncertainty, you will lose both the certainty and the uncertainty. Those who know do not speak. Those who speak do not know. Doubts is the key to knowledge. A timely tear better than a misplaced smile. He who asks is a fool for 5 minutes, but he who does not ask remains a fool forever. The only thing we should be afraid of is stopping completely. The rain is not a friend to anyone, whether rich or poor, good or evil. 4 walls make a man free. Surely the worth of a man lies in 2 of his smallest parts, his heart and his tongue. Water long stagnant becomes putrid. Age makes many a man whiter, but not better. Treats your superior as a father, your equal as a brother, and your inferior as a son. Do not cut down the tree that gives you shade. Habits are first cobwebs, then cables. A sheep's bite is never more than skin deep. Nothing looks more like a man of sense than a fool who holds his tongue. The one who cares for the tree must also care for its branches. Beware of an oak, it draws the stroke. Avoid an ash, it counts the flash. Creep under the thorn, it can save you from harm. A sword in the hands of a drunken slave is less dangerous than science in the hands of an immoral man. Speak well of your friend, of your enemy, neither well nor ill. Thinking well is wise, planning well, wiser, but doing well is the wisest and best of all. In the hour of adversity, be not without hope. Mediocrity is climbing molehills without sweating. Rather have a little one for your friend than a great one for your enemy. Our real grave is not in the ground, but in men's hearts. Listening to good advice is the way to wealth. A stone thrown at the right time might be better than gold given at the wrong time. The world is a rose. Smell it and pass it on to your friends. When the snake is old, the frog will tease him. With a sweet tongue of kindness, you can drag an elephant by a hair. There are 3 kinds of enemies: your enemy himself, the friend of your enemy, and the enemy of your friend. If you go to bed without supper, you will rise without having slept. The larger a man's roof, the more snow it collects. The old woman looks after the child to grow its teeth, and the young one, in turn, looks after the old woman when she loses her teeth. One has always strength enough to bear the misfortunes of one's friends. The hand that gives is also the hand that receives. Whoever works his land will have plenty of bread, but he who follows worthless pursuits lacks sense. Look in the sky, not in the pond, to find the moon. A proud heart can survive a general failure because such a failure does not prick its pride. Prosperity comes through vigilance, energy, and wise counsel. An ungrateful son is a wart on his father's nose. He leaves it alone, and it's ugly. He removes it, and it hurts. To the ant, a few drops of dew are a flood. A danger foreseen is half avoided. Tell me and I'll forget. Show me, and I may not remember. Involve me, and I'll learn. Drawn wells have sweetest water. Trust in God, but tie your camel tightly. 1 pound of learning could require an army of common sense to apply. Too much oil in a man's heart is laid open for all to see. Don't be too sweet lest you be eaten up. Don't be too bitter lest you be spewed out. The eyes can do 1,000 things that the fingers can't. When its time has come, the prey goes to the hunter. In times of prosperity, friends will be plenty. In times of adversity, not 1 in 20. God gives to us according to the measure of our hearts. Labor is bitter, but the bread it buys is sweet. A family is like a forest. When you are outside, it is dense. When you are inside, you see that each tree has its place. Turn your face to the sun, and the shadows fall behind you. Not to feel one's misfortunes is not human. Not to bear them is not manly. The arrow that has left the bow never returns. He who never visits your home does not want you to visit his. You don't put a wooden pot on the fire twice. The same dog that bit you in the morning will bite you in the evening. A lazy shepherd is a wolf's friend. Speaking without thought is like shooting without taking aim. It is no excuse for sin if we have sinned for the sake of a friend. Throwing your cap at a bird is not the way to catch it. 3 things in the world worth having: courage, good sense, caution. When words are many, transgression is not lacking, but whoever restrains his lips is prudent. Heaven is at the feet of mothers. An inch of time is an inch of gold, but you can't buy that inch of time with an inch of gold. While yearning for excess, we lose necessities. Life is not a series of pleasant choices, but of problems that call for strength, determination, and hard work. Once I had strength but no wisdom. Now I have wisdom but no strength.